the strangest things people have ever dug up right in their own backyards. Welcome to the latest issue of Top Secret. Beneath the familiar soil in the corner of the yard, it seemed there was nothing but plants and simple memories. It holds secrets that would astonish the entire world. From forgotten treasures and ancient remains to perilous artifacts left behind by the past. Every discovery in that tiny garden opened up a surprising and fascinating story. Is there something mysterious waiting to be discovered right beneath your feet at this very moment? Mysterious and peculiar presumption. On an August summer day in 2011, Wade Sabath, a 51-year-old unemployed carpenter in Illinois. She went out to the backyard garden to pick some broccoli. Under the scorching sun, he was toiling away when his foot accidentally struck a strange object hidden in the ground. It was an old, dusty plastic bag that looked as if it had just been dug up from deep underground. Curious, Sabath opened the bag. He was stunned to find it crammed full of stacks of cash. The total is $150,000, equivalent to approximately 3.6 billion Vietnamese dong at the exchange rate at that time. With such an enormous amount of money, many people would undoubtedly choose to keep it quiet to transform their lives. But Sabath, an upright man, had decided to act according to what he believed was right. He brought the bag of money to the police station to turn it in and was informed that if no one came to claim it by the end of 2012, the money would be his to keep. Just when the story seemed headed for a happy ending, it suddenly took a dramatic and mysterious turn. Mrs. Dolores Johnson, an 87-year-old neighbor of Sabath, unexpectedly came forward to claim the money as her own. According to her, that money carried bad luck and misfortune, so she deliberately discarded it to avoid disaster. The court decided to divide the money despite her strange statement, which left many people feeling quite skeptical. Half of the money was given to Mrs. Johnson's daughter, and the other half was a reward for Sabath for his honesty. However, tragedy struck unexpectedly like a shock. Just 10 days before he was to receive the money, Sabath passed away due to complications from diabetes, leaving behind immense sorrow. Stranger still, Mrs. Johnson also passed away shortly thereafter, before she could receive the money that was rightfully hers. This eerie coincidence led many to believe in the curse she had once mentioned, as if the money truly carried a deathly omen. Moreover, the situation became even more complicated when a local shop owner publicly demanded a refund. He claimed that this $150,000 was the exact amount stolen from his store in 2010, miraculously matching the sum Sabath had found. S. daughter and Mrs. Sabath. According to available information, the two individuals lived a quiet life with the money they received and encountered no troubles. The story of the mysterious bag of money is not only shocking because of its enormous value, but also because of its thrilling and captivating details. It makes one wonder, is there truly some kind of curse at work, or is it all just a terrifying coincidence of fate? Two ancient skeletons were discovered in the home's garden. In 2011, in Salt Lake City, Utah, a construction crew led by John Shelby was working in the backyard of a private home. According to some sources, they were hired to dig a water pipeline, but others claim they were dismantling an old pond. No matter what the initial purpose of the work was, none of the team suspected that very day would lead them to an astonishing discovery, leaving everyone utterly stunned. While digging, their shovel struck something stark white, revealed beneath the deep soil. When they realized it was human remains, the whole group was terrified and bewildered. With her cautious nature, Shelby immediately stopped what she was doing and called the police, her heart still pounding from the horrifying discovery. Shortly thereafter, physical anthropologists from the Utah State Agency quickly arrived at the scene. They conducted a careful excavation and discovered a complete adult human skeleton. However, the strange thing was that the skeleton was missing its head. Refusing to let fear take over, Shelby and his team continued their work under the supervision of experts. Before long, they found the missing skull not far away. Scientists conducted research and reached an astonishing conclusion. These are not the remains of a recent murder case as everyone had feared. This is the remains of a member of the Fremont tribe, who lived in the Utah region approximately 1,000 years ago. This discovery opens a window into the past, where ancient communities once thrived on the very land that is now home to modern residential areas. Approximately 10 to 15 years prior, this area had also recorded many similar discoveries, confirming that Salt Lake City is situated on a land rich in historical and cultural value. Such remains are not merely archaeological artifacts, but also serve as a sacred bridge connecting present-day indigenous descendants with their ancestors. Under legal provisions, the remains will be contacted to present-day indigenous communities to verify their origin. If a tribe takes on this responsibility, they are entitled to conduct the burial of the remains according to proper traditional rites. In the absence of any recipients, the remains will be interred in a special vault at Emigration Canyon, a repository for unidentified indigenous artifacts. This place resembles a sacred cemetery, preserving ancient souls from fading into oblivion. The story of the skeletal remains unearthed in a home's yard is not merely an archaeological event, but also a profound reminder of the connection between modern people and the past. Every piece of land we inhabit may conceal ancient secrets, waiting to be uncovered to tell the story of the people who once called this place home. In ancient stone from the Bronze Age, Stephen David, an older brother with a passion for history despite being only an amateur historian, was always captivated by the story of his own family's ancient house. He spent a great deal of time exploring the origins and the hidden mysteries within every brick and every corner of the garden. While researching ancient documents, David accidentally discovered information about an ancient stone called the Horus Stone, believed to be located somewhere near the town of Strull. What astonished him was that the stone had vanished for 350 years, as if swallowed by time. With an ironclad determination to recover the precious historical artifact, David partnered with Claire Falk, a seasoned local historian. Both were intently turning each page of the document, patiently following every clue, no matter how small. The search lasted for 18 months, beginning in 1987, and they were forced to taste the bitterness of disappointment on more than one occasion. But in the end, David's persistence was rewarded in the most unexpected way. While tidying up the backyard one afternoon, he suddenly discovered a large rock covered in vines, nearly blending into the surrounding scenery. After clearing away the thick layer of vines, David was astonished to realize it was the legendary Horus Stone. This discovery is not only a fitting reward for relentless efforts, but also a powerful testament that treasures may lie hidden right beneath our feet. Researchers later determined that this stone had been mentioned in a 12th century legal text and last appeared in records within a 17th century tax document. They believe this is an ancient tomb from the Bronze Age, constructed around 2500 BC, marking a significant relic from ancient history. David's discovery quickly captured the attention of historic England. The commission is expected to designate Horus Stone as a protected monument. The story not only celebrates the perseverance of a history enthusiast, but also inspires those who believe the past always leaves traces, waiting to be discovered. For David, the backyard garden was not merely a plot of land, but a gateway to the profound mysteries of time. A machine gun is a very dangerous weapon. On a morning earlier this year, a man living in northeast Calgary, Canada, accidentally discovered an old plastic bag stuck between the garage and the fence in his backyard. Curious, he picked up the bag and opened it to see what was inside. Inside was a pillowcase stuffed with cotton, but what sent a chill down his spine were the items concealed within: a loaded machine gun lying next to a cell phone. This unexpected discovery startled him, leaving his mind flooded with questions. Where did this dangerous gun come from, who left it here, and what was their purpose? Without hesitation, he immediately called the police to report the incident. Police quickly arrived at the scene and confiscated the gun and mobile phone to aid the investigation. However, to this day, their origin remains an unsolved mystery. There were no clues indicating the gun was linked to a specific case, and no one claimed responsibility for it. This incident left the man and his family deeply concerned, wondering whether their backyard might still harbor other potential dangers. This story raises concerns about safety within our very own familiar living spaces. A machine gun, a weapon of terrifying destructive power, appeared quite unexpectedly in the midst of the peaceful garden. Questioning the hidden dangers in everyday life. That is a profound wake-up call. Sometimes, the most dangerous threat lies silently right beside us, waiting to be uncovered in a single chance moment. This incident not only raised the alertness among Calgary residents, but also reminded everyone of the importance of paying attention to unusual occurrences in their surroundings. Beneath the ground lies a cemetery dating back to the 18th century. New Orleans, a city steeped in mystical legends, seems to have been built from the profound secrets of its own past. Vincent Marcello, a local resident, came up with the idea of digging up his backyard to build a swimming pool, hoping to create more space for his family to relax. But the dream of the swimming pool quickly evaporated when the workers made a horrifying discovery. Beneath the ground of that very area was an ancient cemetery from the 18th century. A total of 13 coffins containing remains were excavated, stacked upon one another like silent witnesses of time. According to historical records, this area was once a large-scale cemetery. Peter's, which had to close down years ago due to a lack of space. At that time, wealthy families in New Orleans were willing to pay a substantial sum to have their relatives' remains moved to upscale cemeteries. Louis No. 1 presents a more modern appearance and a more spacious interior. Meanwhile, impoverished families have no other choice but to lay their loved ones to rest in collective burial grounds. Peter gradually faded into obscurity over time. Marcello's discovery was nothing particularly new to this region. In 1984, the discovery of 36 bodies during the construction of a nearby apartment complex revealed the French Quarter as a land filled with unexpected mysteries. As Marcello shared, this is the French Quarter, a place where no one truly knows what lies hidden beneath the ground. This story is a vivid testament to the complex and deeply mysterious history of New Orleans, a place where past and present intertwine in the most peculiar ways. It remains unclear whether Marcello will proceed with the pool construction plan, but his discovery has opened a new chapter in the city's history. A reminder to all that every piece of land may hold secrets dating back centuries. The Lost Hollywood Star. In 1996, Margot Kidder, the Canadian actress famous for playing Lois Lane in the Superman film series, was found quite unexpectedly in the backyard of a home in Glendale, California. At that time, she was enduring countless hardships, from financial pressures to mental health struggles. 3 days after failing to show up to teach a scheduled class in Arizona, Ms. Kidder was reported missing. Worried, her manager immediately notified the police and launched an urgent search. When found, Kidder was in a state of panic. His clothes were soiled, he had lost several teeth, and his spirit seemed completely broken. In a state of panic, Kidder believed that her ex-husband, whom she thought was the head of the CIA, was pursuing her to cause harm. To avoid being recognized, she even clumsily cut her own hair using a vegetable peeler, hoping to conceal her identity. The police took her to the hospital, where doctors diagnosed her with bipolar disorder, a serious mental health condition. Kidder participated in an intensive psychological therapy program and was fortunate enough to overcome all obstacles to make a full recovery. Not only did she reclaim her own life, but she also became a powerful inspiration, representing the voice of those struggling with mental health issues. After more than a decade, Kidder remains healthy, has not suffered a relapse, and has become a symbol of unwavering willpower. S. story is a profound warning about the fragility of the human mind, showing how life. But at the same time, it also demonstrates the power of recovery when given the right support. One can absolutely find light within their own darkness and become a powerful inspiration for those going through similar circumstances. The church bell was stolen. In 2013, a man in the Czech Republic decided to dig up his backyard to install a water pipe. While working, he suddenly discovered 2 large metallic objects buried deep underground. After conducting careful excavations, he was utterly astonished to discover that they were 2 gigantic church bells, of colossal size and with an appearance deeply marked by the passage of time. Through the examination process, experts determined that these bells date back approximately 400 years. Even more astonishing is that they were stolen from a nearby church 11 years ago. Perhaps the thief buried the treasure here with the intention of hiding it, planning to return and retrieve it later. However, for some mysterious reason, he never came back. This discovery not only brings valuable artifacts to the community but also serves as a profound reminder to exercise caution when digging within one's own property. The bells, once integral to religious ceremonies, now silently tell an enigmatic tale of crime and eerie coincidences. They are proof that the past always knows how to return in the most unexpected ways, even in the most familiar corners of the garden. Ocean frost. In 2012, in the city of Detroit, Michigan, 2 boys named Eric and Andrew were playing by a small creek that ran through their backyard. While engrossed in building a small water dam, they both suddenly discovered a strange object protruding from the damp soil. With the characteristic innocence of a child, Eric thought it was just an ordinary rock. But Andrew, with his keen intuition, immediately recognized that it looked exactly like a piece of ambergris. Both curious and a little worried, the boys immediately brought this discovery to Eric's father, an internist. After inspecting it, he confirmed that it was indeed frost and advised the family to contact experts for further consultation. The family immediately summoned a paleontologist from the Grand Brook Institute of Science in Bloomfield Hill to examine it. The results are truly astonishing. The bone sample was identified as belonging to a mammoth dating back approximately 13,000 years. This discovery is not unique to Michigan. In 2015, a construction worker accidentally discovered 42 pieces of tusk from a mammoth. The animal was determined to be 37 years old and had lived 14,000 years ago. These artifacts are currently on display at a museum in Akbo, attracting a large number of visitors. Eric and Andrew's discovery is a vivid testament to the fact that fascinating biological mysteries can be hiding right in the backyard, patiently waiting for young explorers to stumble upon them. The story of the two boys ignited a passion for exploration and reminded us that the past is always present around us. Meteorite from outer space. Radivok Lazic is a man living in a small village in northern Bosnia. He is likely the only person in the world to have experienced such a rare phenomenon. His house has been hit by a meteorite 6 times. Lazic's property seems to have a strange allure, frequently attracting meteorites to crash into his backyard. Both astonishing and yet utterly practical, Lazic decided to sell a piece of the meteorite to get money for re-roofing his house, as a precaution against any potential surprise attacks in the future. With his unique sense of humor, he even joked that perhaps the aliens were deliberately targeting his house, as if he were a target in some sort of cosmic game. Driven by curiosity about the rare phenomenon, scientists have begun studying Lazic's land to determine whether it possesses any unique characteristics that attract meteorites toward it. Though the cause remains a mystery, this story remains one of the most enigmatic phenomena, leaving people to constantly wonder: is the universe trying to send some kind of message to Earth? Simply put, the place Lazic calls home is where stars happen to visit. The Bicastle Range in Orlando, Florida was once a bombing practice ground during World War II, where explosions occurred continuously. Now, this 4,856-hectare plot of land has become home to thousands of households, with houses built closely together. But the scars of war remain, etched with terrifying pain. In 2007, the entire community was shocked to discover unexploded bombs near the runway of a high school. Previously, in 2002, a farm worker